They called her Miss Harper, kind, patient, and loved by all. A teacher who dedicated her life to shaping young minds, the kind of educator every parent wished for. But behind her warm smile was something far more sinister. In the quiet town of Willow Creek, no one suspected that the very person entrusted with their children's futures was hiding a terrible secret. A secret buried just beneath their feet, beneath the very playground where their laughter once filled the air. Because on the night of October 17, 2016, Miss Harper didn't go home. Instead, she stayed behind, with her students. And by morning, 3 children had vanished without a trace. Willow Creek was the kind of town where everyone knew everyone. A single road led in and out, the kind of place where doors were left unlocked and crime was almost unheard of. Parents sent their kids to Willow Creek Elementary without a second thought. And at the heart of the school was Miss Eleanor Harper, a 6th grade teacher who had been there for over 15 years. To the outside world, she was perfect, dedicated, nurturing, and beloved by her students. But behind closed doors, something about her was off. Some students whispered about her strange behavior, how she would suddenly go silent in the middle of a lesson, staring out the window for minutes at a time. How she never let anyone into her classroom after school hours. How, sometimes, she talked to herself when she thought no one was listening. But no one suspected the truth. Not until it was too late. October 17, 2016, was supposed to be a normal Monday. Parents dropped off their kids, completely unaware that 3 of them would never come home. The missing students were Lily Carter, age 10, a quiet, artistic girl who loved to draw. Ethan Morales, age 11, the class clown, always making others laugh. Noah Jensen, age 10, a straight-A student, the teacher's favorite. That day, school ended at 3:30 p.m., and most students rushed home. But Lily, Ethan, and Noah stayed behind for detention, given to them by Miss Harper for talking too much during a math lesson. That was the last time anyone saw them alive. By 6 p.m., parents started to worry. Their kids should have been home hours ago. Calls to Miss Harper's classroom went unanswered. The school janitor, Mr. Lewis, was the first to realize something was wrong. He entered the dark, empty classroom and immediately felt it, that eerie, suffocating silence. The chairs were still in place. The whiteboard was freshly erased. But something was off. Then he noticed the smell. A sharp, metallic odor that made his stomach turn. He followed it, and saw a single red stain on the tiled floor. It was small but unmistakable. Blood. By 8 p.m. the police were called. Officers searched the entire school, but the children were nowhere to be found. Miss Harper's car was still in the parking lot, but she was missing too. Her classroom door had been locked from the inside, something that wasn't normal. When police forced it open, they found something even stranger. 3 backpacks neatly lined up beside her desk. A cup of half-drunk tea still warm. And on the whiteboard, written in large, shaky letters. They were bad. They had to be punished. For 2 days, the town searched desperately. Flyers were posted. Parents pleaded for answers. Miss Harper was officially a suspect, but no one could find her. Then, on October 19th, police received an anonymous tip. A single handwritten note was found slipped under the door of the police station. It simply read, "Check beneath the swings." That morning, officers rushed to the playground. It had been searched before, there was nothing there. But this time, something was different. The dirt beneath the swings looked disturbed, as if it had been freshly dug up and covered again. When officers began to dig, their worst fears were confirmed. The first body was found just 2 feet below the surface. Lily Carter. Her hands were bound, her face frozen in a silent scream. Minutes later, they found Ethan Morales buried next to her. And then, Noah Jensen. 3 graves. 3 innocent lives. And 1 missing teacher who was nowhere to be found. By now, Miss Harper was the most wanted woman in America. But her car, her phone, and her bank accounts remained untouched. It was almost as if she had simply vanished. But then, authorities uncovered something else, something far more disturbing. Inside Miss Harper's desk drawer, hidden beneath old lesson plans, they found a journal. And what was inside? Pages upon pages of rambling, disturbing confessions. She spoke of voices. Voices that whispered to her, telling her the children were evil, that they had to be punished, that the school was cursed and she was the only one who could save it. One entry stood out. Dated just 1 week before the murders, it read, "They think I don't see, but I do. The bad ones. The rotten ones. They smile but they hide their sins. The voices tell me what I must do. And I must obey." The town was left in shock, horror, and disbelief. A beloved teacher. A devoted mentor. a cold-blooded killer. But one question remained. Where is Eleanor Harper? For years, no one could answer that question. Until 2019. Because that's when someone spotted her hundreds of miles away, living under a new name. And she wasn't alone. She had a new job. At a new school. And that's when investigators realized. The nightmare was far from over. For 3 years, Eleanor Harper was nothing more than a ghost. After the horrifying discovery of Lily Carter, Ethan Morales, and Noah Jensen buried beneath the playground at Willow Creek Elementary, the once beloved teacher became one of the most wanted fugitives in America. But just when the world thought she had disappeared forever, someone found her. Living under a new name. Working at a new school. And when investigators realized what she had been doing there, their blood ran cold. Because the nightmare wasn't over. It was just beginning. It was September 4, 2019, when a woman named Sarah Calloway walked into a police station in Benton, Montana, a quiet, rural town over 800 miles from Willow Creek. She claimed to be a teacher's aide at Maplewood Elementary and had concerns about one of her colleagues, a woman who went by the name Helen Grayson. At first, her concerns seemed minor: strange behavior, obsessive tendencies, and unusual attachment to certain students. But then she showed them something that made their stomachs turn. A staff photo taken just a week prior. And there, standing among the teachers, was Miss Eleanor Harper. She had changed her hair, lost weight, and even altered her voice slightly, but there was no doubt. She was alive. And she was teaching again. Police immediately launched a covert investigation. They didn't want to alert her too soon, not before they could prove she was the same woman who had murdered 3 children in cold blood. They dug into Helen Grayson's background. The identity was fake. Forged documents, a fabricated work history, a non-existent past. She had arrived in Benton in early 2018, taking a job at the local school without raising any red flags. But then, they found her classroom journal. And that's when the case took a terrifying turn. Just like before, Miss Harper, now Helen Grayson, had been writing. And what she wrote was even darker than before. I see them. The wicked ones. They smile but they don't fool me. They whisper behind my back but I hear everything. Their parents don't know. But I do. The voices tell me. One is ready. I will take care of it soon. Then a single chilling line. This time I'll be smarter. Investigators didn't wait. On September 10, 2019, authorities stormed Maplewood Elementary, arresting Helen Grayson in the middle of her classroom. Students screamed, teachers froze, and Miss Harper? She just smiled. As if she had been expecting this moment all along. Back at the police station, Harper, if that was even her real name anymore, was eerily calm. She didn't ask for a lawyer. She didn't protest her innocence. She simply sat there, hands folded neatly in her lap, and said, "It took you long enough." Then she laughed. Over the next 6 hours she spoke, detached, emotionless, as if discussing a lesson plan instead of brutal murders. She admitted to killing Lily, Ethan, and Noah, saying they were corrupted, and she had to cleanse them. She claimed the voices told her what to do. Voices she had been hearing since she was 12 years old. But then she revealed something even more chilling. She had already chosen her next victim. A little girl named Maggie Thompson, age 9. Maggie had been her favorite. And according to Harper, that meant she was marked for death. Had police arrived just a few days later, Maggie might have been the next body buried beneath the playground. Eleanor Harper, or Helen Grayson, was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, attempted murder, identity fraud, and child endangerment. During the trial, her defense argued that she suffered from schizophrenia with psychotic tendencies, claiming she wasn't legally responsible for her actions. The jury didn't buy it. On May 14, 2021, after just 4 hours of deliberation, she was found guilty on all counts. She was sentenced to life in prison without parole, locked away in a maximum security psychiatric facility. And for the first time in years, the families of Lily, Ethan, and Noah could finally grieve. But just when the world thought the case was over, something strange happened. 2 months into her sentence, prison guards noticed something disturbing. Miss Harper, or Helen, or whatever her real name was, had started talking to herself again. But this time it wasn't whispers. It was one-sided conversations. Guards reported hearing her argue, as if someone else was there with her. One night, a security camera caught her sitting on the edge of her bed, rocking back and forth, staring at the wall. And then, she spoke. Not in her usual voice, but in the voice of a child. "You shouldn't have stopped me." The voice was high-pitched, innocent, but filled with rage. And then, she turned toward the camera and smiled, as if she knew someone was watching, as if she knew it wasn't over. For more unsolved true crime stories, subscribe to this channel. True Crime: The Crime Report.